Hello, you wonderful people. How are you? It's lovely to be back. Today and the video on Friday, we're going to be talking about kind of affirmations, manifesting, and bits and pieces around there. Okay, as well as some messages from the emissaries. So today I'm going to tell you about the 3 wishes. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So this guy every day prays to the god Vishnu, and he says, please Vishnu, give me this, give me that, give me the other, give me. And after years of doing this, Vishnu got really tired, and so he spoke to the man and he said, look, I'm tired of you supplicating every day, all of the time. I'm going to grant you 3 wishes. Once you've used these 3 wishes up, I will grant you no more. So think well, think hard on what you want. Well, the man was really excited. And the first thing that came to mind was that he was extremely unhappy in his marriage. His wife was getting older. He didn't really like her. And so he said, right, well, I'd like you to get rid of my wife. Yeah. Sure enough, in that instant, his wife died. Okay. And the funeral was arranged. And at the funeral, all of the people who knew his wife, all of the family and friends, and they were all together and they were all talking about the wife and how she was such a beautiful person and all of the help that she'd given them across the years. And the man listening realized that actually he probably misunderstood. It was probably because he was lacking that he was feeling that his wife wasn't enough, And so feeling a bit embarrassed, a bit guilty, he said to Vishnu, could you bring my wife back, please? And sure enough, ba-bam, his wife came back. And he was there, happy. But he had one wish left, and he was starting to worry because he thought, look what I've done. I made a big mistake. I've wasted 2 wishes. I'm in no different position. I've just got my wife here with me, but I've got 1 wish. And so what he did was he started going around talking to all of his friends about what he should ask for. Well, you can imagine everybody had a different idea. Get money. But his other friend would say, well, what's the point of money if you haven't got health? Ask for health. Ask for unlimited health. And the other person would say, yeah, but what's the point of health and money if you haven't got family? Ask for, great family. So much so he had so many different suggestions that he just didn't bother using it. He couldn't. He didn't want to waste the gift of this wish. And years passed, and he was getting older. And then one day, in desperation, he looked up to the sky and he spoke to Vishnu. And he said, please tell me, what should I wish for? And Vishnu, laughing, said, all you ever needed to do was to wish to be satisfied with what you've got. And a little bit later on, I'll tell you another story that ties in with that. So, I want to tell you about a video that I saw, and this was a couple of weeks back now, and it was Charlie Ward. And I haven't seen Charlie Ward's videos in a long time. Charlie Ward helped me through the first year of the plan stroke demic. Oh my God, he helped me so much. Wonderful. All that distraction with that guy who said he was the King of England and all of that. It was lovely. I'm very, very grateful to Charlie Ward. But then his stuff's not my stuff. He went very much into the financial side of everything. But he was talking about the financial crash. And it was just like a little TikTok video or whatever. And he's saying, it's upon us and it's going to happen. And it's going to make the 2008 crisis seem like a blip. Yeah? It was quite scary, scaremongery video. And so I thought, well, let's talk to the emissaries about that. What's their take on it? And they said, what is going to happen and what has to happen will happen. There's no way around what has to happen. Obviously, they don't go into details about what has to happen. But they said this, understand that there is nothing that happens that takes us in the opposite direction. Every single thing that happens, good, bad, no matter how desperate it seems, only serves to take us toward the goal, toward the result, toward the new earth, toward the paradise. Right? And they were very emphatic about it. They're saying, so don't get tied up in what's happening. Understand that everything is just a signal. Everything is an arrow that's pointing to the pathway where we're going. Yeah. They're talking about. Then they started to show me all of the inventions. They're like, give me inventions. People driving cars that run on water. People powering the house up with magnets and all of that. And they said, when these things happen, as they happen, as things get taken away from us, then mankind will start to galvanize itself, and we will start to share and help one another. And I think this is something that's coming, and I can feel it, and I can feel it bubbling, which is I think where we'll end up with, and I know the emissaries have said this, that we'll end up with self-governance. We will govern. We will be small community self-governance, almost like one small town, the Tellinger project. That's where we're going to be. And of course, remember, comfort is our biggest enemy. When we're comfortable, when we've got everything we need, well, we don't need to go anywhere else. We don't need to look at anything else. So remember, as they say, everything that happens is leading us in one direction, like the name of a band, isn't it? And they said, don't worry, don't think that everything is going to hell in a handbasket. They said everything's going to heaven in a handbasket. Their words. Yeah, so that was nice. So let me tell you about me. I was going to say my friend John, but I'm not. I'd say me. When 25 years ago, or more, I discovered affirmations. Wait a minute, I was 25, so no, 35 years ago, I discovered affirmations. And at the beginning, I started to use them, and I dabbled with them. I didn't quite have the system right. It took me to go into bankruptcy to be able to learn how to affirm properly. And that's when I learned to do it beautifully. And so, mostly for the last 20 years, I spent all of my time affirming what I wanted. Stuff. Yeah. And it just kept coming. Stuff everywhere. I had stuff everywhere. Okay. And I got to the point where I had everything on my list, everything on my vision board. I had everything. And I did a little sense check inside, and I felt empty. I felt like I'm not happy. And it was then that it dawned on me. Just like when Vishnu said to the man, all you need do is affirm happiness. Affirm being content with what you've got. Man, it was like, how I felt when I realized that? It was like, oh my God, why have I just wasted, and it felt like that, why have I wasted 20 years surrounding myself with things when I should have been working on the inside? Remember, this is a journey within, not without. Is it nice to have things? Of course it is. Is it nice to be able to not worry about money? Of course it is. But does that make you happy? No, not at all. Not at all. They say that money makes you less dissatisfied. That's it. Makes you less dissatisfied. What makes you satisfied is internal happiness, is following your purpose, being in your bliss. That's what makes you happy. So that's what I did. And I've been doing that for the last 5 years, more or less, maybe 4 years, affirming happiness. What a difference. What a difference. And you know the bizarre thing about it? When you affirm happiness, things come anyway. And they come in exactly the right way. You see, when we cosmically order, we've got to be sure that our mind is in a great place to order exactly what it is that we need. And sometimes it isn't, and sometimes we're ordering all kinds of shit that we don't need. And so, and it ties in with surrendering yourself. Imagine you surrender yourself to the universe, to God, to God's plan, and you start affirming happiness. Man, what a beautiful combination. That's when everything just flows. You're in flow. It's in that flow moment, being in your bliss. So that's, I think, isn't it funny how if we could live our life in retrospect, God, it would be wonderful, wouldn't it? We'd make all the right choices and everything. But that's not what it's all about. That's not why we're here. We're here to live and learn and then change, and live and learn and change, the hero's journey. So there you are. That's the message for this week, and I'll see you on Friday. I'm going to talk about more about that kind of thing. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.